Alright, on this play, I'm just doing a basic 10 and in route with Deontay Thompson, who, like I said, is an 83 route running against this corner, who is a 98 man coverage. I'll just play it full speed, and then I'll break it down on the flaws in the defensive locomotion. And also at the end, you'll see the dreaded wide receiver speed burst to catch the ball. I still don't know why they have to have this in the game, but it's not really that big a deal. I mean, it kind of almost helps to get rid of some of the issues. So I'd almost say it's kind of like a shortcut to get some of the issues out of the game so that receivers are a little better. But actually, receivers are pretty good in this game. But here's full speed. You know, looks pretty good. Looks, you know, as good as any game to date, I'd say. But still, you know, definitely some flaws in the defensive locomotion. Let me give you a side view to help show you this, you know, in perspective. But you know, I'm right here in this video. I'm gonna compare. God damn it! I'm gonna compare the locomotion of the receiver to the corner. Now this is also on 35 slider rating on All-American. 35 pass coverage for the slider. The slider pass coverage is on 35, and this is on All-American. Okay, locomotion pretty good. The route running is spot on. I mean, I don't see any flaws in the route running. He takes a couple chop steps because his momentum's taking him forward. You know, that's solid route running. The problem I have is the defensive locomotion. He doesn't really carry any momentum backwards, even though it's a lot easier to stop when you're running forward than it is to stop when you're running backwards, just because it's a lot more natural of a motion. You know, you notice how Thompson stops pretty quickly. You know, chops a few times and makes a nice cut. But the defender, who's backpedaling pretty fast, doesn't take any chop steps to stop. He just stops on a dime. You know, it's not horrible. It's a lot better than Madden and NCAA football used to be. But this is why the pass coverage, not just the mirroring, but this is also why pass coverage, man coverage, is a little bit flawed. Because see, he doesn't need any, you know, his momentum doesn't carry him backwards at all. He can stop pretty much at will. Now, if you guys can picture a realistic animation for this corner, he would start reacting. You know, that's the thing about putting the slider to 35, is it just makes him react slower. So it cancels out for the locomotion. It cancels out for the corners to be able to stop faster than the receivers. That's really the purpose of it. See, this is actually really good coverage. I mean, my receiver ends up catching it, but I mean, that's a timing pass on man coverage that should work the way it is. That's realistic right there. But, you know, ideally, the corner reacts. You know, he'll start to break off this back pedal the instant he sees the receiver's hips bending. So about right now, he'll right now, if number 5, this corner, had realistic, you know, good locomotion, right now he'd be starting to chop up his back pedal to run forward. You know, this is why curl routes are the best route against man coverage and the most difficult route to cover, because this is, you know, right here he's got, you know, at least 3 to 4 yards of separation, and right here is when the corner should be starting to break up his back pedal and go into a forward run trailing position, or if he's fast enough to jump the route. You know, so he goes at a decent time, but look how fast he can get out of this back pedal. You know, but if you picture him starting to do an animation right there, which is about, I mean, you know, you can react pretty quick on man coverage to your receiver cutting. If he were to react right there and to start chopping up his back pedal, then that animation right there that he just did would be in perfect timing with his back pedal animation. Maybe a little early, but it would be pretty good timing of an animation playing out there. You know, this is really just the main coverage with strafing. There's just not much in the form of animations to transition in and out of it. I mean, I can show you this guy right here. Up here, he's just turning around. You know, that's not that hard to turn around. That's, you know, it's decent animation for the most part. Crap, I think I got it off the camera. I mean, you know, not bad. You know, let's see if I can get a better one. See about this guy, same animation. This guy, see, this is a comeback route. That's how it should work, But still, like I said, there's really not much momentum that carries over. I mean, he stops pretty quickly, but he's also not backpedaling as fast, so he shouldn't need as many steps to stop. This is a universal problem. It's not like this guy's rated super high. I mean, he is a very good corner, no doubt about that. But definitely not good enough to where he'd be able to stop on an absolute dime like that. But it's not terrible of a problem. Like I said, making the slider to 35 is what I found to be the most realistic result. And overall, it really it makes the game a lot better. But if you play online like me, then you're stuck playing on 50. Also, I said I'd tell you guys the best way to throw if you're playing on the slider with 50. The best thing to do is do speed-based routes. Now, these routes that I'm showing you right here are timing-based routes. Streak routes, drag routes, and deep drag routes are speed-based routes. That's what I call them, at least. The speed-based routes are, there's really no way for the defenders to mirror them. So those are typically what work the best, especially if you use a team like Illinois, which is, who I root for. I know they suck, but, their receivers are god-awful, but they're pretty fast. And so that's the best way for me to throw to them. As long as they don't drop it, it typically works. Just a side note. But, just little flaw in the locomotion. I don't think they'll be able to patch this for NCAA Football 11, but hopefully they'll look into this for the future. Iron Man, thanks for watching.